Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Carmelo Anthony really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
What a great game for Anthony in this one. 15 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
Now, a lot of times, he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
On the court for Indiana. Down low, Weston Hibbert. Hill is up there with Rodney Stuckey. And it's George in the three. New York calls timeout.
Yeah, and guys, I think he feels like he can make a few improvements during this timeout. Just kind of make a couple of adjustments, get his club back on track.
You know, coaches are always tweaking and tinkering with things mid-game. Actually, sometimes they overdo it.
The Knicks making a switch here. Acey's checked in. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for the Pacers. Hardaway kicks to Calderon. Out to the right wing. Acey's shot is good. And the Knicks lead by 8.
Now, the way this defense is playing out there, I mean, they might as well not be there. That's 5 straight wide open threes.
Yeah, and that's way too many. I mean, typically teams will get the message to cover shooters after 1 or 2 wide open threes, but they just haven't figured it out yet.
Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. I mean, his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far. Well, for Paul George, a big leap forward last season, up his scoring dramatically, and now in his 5th season. He's not quite a superstar yet. That seems to be his trajectory.
Here is Miles. 5 points in the game. No good from West.
I thought he'd make that one. And that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen. Perfect on the first 3 shots now. That's the way to start the second half.
And for Paul George, one of the things I really like is the way he goes about getting his points. I mean, not just on the perimeter or facing up, which he's very good at, but PG also is doing a better job of making dive cuts, posting up now, really using his size and athleticism to score around the rim. And he's actually mastered a pretty potent turnaround jump shot over smaller defenders.
Anthony with it. West picks him up. Anthony drawing the double team. 5 to shoot. AC. That one falls, coming off Anthony's feet. Ace has got 7 points here in this quarter. George against Anthony. Here's AC. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
And guys, remember, Paul George played center in high school. It wasn't until college team that he transitioned to the perimeter.
Yeah, maybe part of what caused him to slip on draft night. But, you know, you talk about drafting for talent. The Pacers' best player was small forward Danny Granger. But they took George anyway, and you see how it's worked out.
Paul George. And he drops that one in. George has got 9 points here in the second half.
A little lucky, frankly, but they did get it to go.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Roy Hibbert has now mastered what he calls, quote, the straight up. He once saw Dwight Howard in the finals jump and absorb contact without fouling. And Hibbert thought to himself, I've got to learn how to do that. In drills, his coach, Frank Vogel, made him defend 2 players at once without fouling. At first, he wanted to give up, but guys, that is how he perfected it.
He sure has. Coach Vogel making sure the refs honor it. Doris, thanks. Pass to Calderon. And again, it's the Knicks missing. Pacers trailed by 8. It's stolen. to the wing right side. No one near him. Out to Anthony. Out to the right wing. Back to Calderon. New York moving it around. And again, it's the Knicks missing. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Hibbert dishes to Miles. No good from 18. The Knicks lead by 8. The drive by Anthony. George with the defensive effort.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
The wide open look here for Anthony to the right side. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Lets it go from deep. Anthony missing again.
Boy, he has been struggling mightily in this quarter, guys.
True. He really seems to have tightened up a bit for whatever reason. He looks tight.
And here's Smith. Anthony up on top. 3 seconds left. That's good. Anthony's got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, they look helpless defensively.
No good on that last second attempt there. Well, through 3 quarters. New York leading by 10. Calderon at the 1. Hardaway Jr. at the 2. Anthony is out there with Quincy Ace. And it's Smith in at the 5. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Here's Hill. Right side Hill. Outside George. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got 3 assists in the game.
Boy, the deeper we get into this game, the more offense we're seeing.
And that goes for both teams, Steve. Everybody firing on all cylinders right now.
Anthony's shot is off. Pacers trail by 10. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far. Really hard to decide, guys, which was better. The pass, the catch, or the slam.
Clark, there's no wrong answer to that one, my friend. Sensational alley-oop all the way around.
Agreed.
All of the above.
Here's Miles. And a miss there on the triple. The Knicks leading by 8. The dish to Carmelo. David West grabs the miss. For Indiana, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the 4th quarter started.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You can hear the impact from where I am.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Knicks.
Well, the great passing we saw in the first half is carried right over into the second.
Well, they've also really been dialed in with their jump shot. I mean, they have not missed much from mid-range today.
New York calls timeout.
David West has the strength and skill to score in the low post, and he's got a nice ability to handle the ball to get to his spot. And he does not back away from contact. As a matter of fact, he invites. He loves playing through contact.
And a new group in for the Knicks. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Smith. Bargnani comes in for Quincy Ace. Lexi Shved, he's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Larkin in for Jose Calderon. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Derek Fisher was just going over the plan with his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. You watch David West work in the post. He has some moves down there.
Yeah, he's got that jump hook. Beautiful turnaround jump shot. He also likes to use his strength to kind of knock the defender backwards and shoot that fadeaway jumper.
And the Knicks miss again.
And that's a shot you can't pass up. He should knock that down.
Hibbert inside. Defended by Bargnani. And the stuff by West.
They've made a great sequence of plays to get this game close again, and this is no time to take their foot off the pedal. They got to keep it rolling.
I agree, Steve. They really had their backs against the wall, but now they're the ones applying the pressure with just a few possessions left in this game.
Pacers trail by 7. Here's George. Pass to Hibbert. And Miles kicks to Hill. He feeds it to Miles. Second shot opportunity. And the layup good by West. West has got 4 points now in the quarter.
I tell you what, you don't want to allow too many of those kinds of baskets with the game on the line.
Now, this is when defenses have to protect the basket with everything they've got. Force the offense to shoot from the perimeter.
And George with the stuff.
Oh, man, they needed a run to get back into this game, and they got it.
And a good one, defensively and offensively. It's been a terrific stretch for them.
That is good.
Tell you what, they haven't exactly been shy about letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
You know, Steve, if you have the lead, you can afford to be a little comfortable with the three-point shot. You just don't want to fall too much in love with it.
Just when the fans were starting to go berserk, a silencer at the other end. Wow, a potential game-saving three right there.
Fantastic drama unfolding. We'll see one way or the other. What a top-notch game he's having. He's gotten them in front, and it sure seems like he's going to keep them there. All by himself, it looks like.
That's good.
With every shot, he's gaining more and more confidence. He's now 5 for 5 from the field in the fourth.
And I'm not sure why his teammates wouldn't just keep getting him the ball at every opportunity. I mean, the way he's going out there, let him have it every trip.
Outside Hill. There's the pass to Miles. 6 to shoot. Hibbert with the screen. And it's Miles missing. But plenty of drama in this one so far.
And I would not be surprised if it goes right down to the buzzer.
And that is the shot of the game.
Well, he's got the guts and courage to take it and the skill to make it.
West setting the pick for George. Sinks it. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Shot after shot, one after the other. PG, Paul George, making it happen.
Fires at the elbow. It's in!
You're going to be waiting a long time if you're waiting for him to miss that when he's that open.
And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
So for the Knicks, Jason Smith, he's checked in for Aldridge. Tim Hardaway Jr. comes in for Alexi Shved. And it's Calderon in for Shane Larkin. He hits the first one, and that puts them up by 5. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
Indiana's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. The three from George. It's rebounded by New York. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. And they go to the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. The Knicks making a switch here. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. Hardaway with the steal. Fades away. The shot is off. So it's New York picking up the win. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Thank you for